just stepped up and just controlled the room. All right. This is a treat for me. I know what's going on, but I'm really excited that you ladies get a chance to share just the sisterhood that you've all developed. And as we talked about last night, I didn't read Eliyah's questions. She sent me. So we're gonna go from the heart. We're gonna go from the heart. And I'll start it off with you, Cheresse, even though we're missing Kim. Kim is here. That's Kim's seat right here. So you can start with Kim and then how it transitions, if you don't mind, and then I'll come up with some questions along the way.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We're so excited to share the stage together. We've been all over the place, so it's really amazing for us to be all in the same room, which we never have all been together in the same room, so it's super powerful. There is a fifth person that is here with us in spirit. One of my great mentors, Kimberly Glover Shane, who had been in the industry maybe 10 years ahead of me, also from South Florida and from Miami, and she really mentored me and opened the doors for myself, along with Dwayne and Jason. I know J May is out here somewhere as well. And she did so much for me personally. I stayed with her at her place as an intern, and that just goes to show that, you know, we really have to open the doors for each other, because that's the only way we're going to be successful.
True.
Yeah.
So you gotta get used to Portland from Miami. Oh no, you was in Detroit.
I was in Detroit.
Now I still don't understand what makes people from Miami want to move to Detroit weather-wise. Like, did y'all know, like, it was a difference in temperature?
We were excited. We'd never seen snow before.
The time I saw snow I was 18 when I saw snow, and I was looking super wild when I saw the snow. Picking it up, I was looking a little...
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It wore off, though. I saw snow for the first time. Actually, when I moved to Detroit in 92, first time I ever saw snow at 24 years old. Crazy. It was cute. It was cool outside.
It was cool for
look out the
that
window.
first moment. After that, not so
cool
much.
For 2 minutes.
All right. So share. Once, you know, you had a conversation with Kim and you stayed at her house. And so what did that relationship mean to you, you know, having Kim, you know, do that for you? And then how did that impact your next move after that?
For sure. I think so many times it's just like you go to school, right? And I was really privileged to start my career here in Detroit, and I attended College for Creative Studies. And, you know, you check all the boxes you're supposed to check. You know, you do all of your projects, et cetera, but it really doesn't necessarily prepare you for the real part of the industry and also life. And Kim really pulled back the curtains for me and just let me know that, A, I had support. She helped me, you know, with my tech packs and showed me how to do those types of things. And it was really just special to have someone from my city who looked like me, who, you know, created a space for me to also learn. So it was really important. I don't think I would be still in the industry doing the work that I'm doing without her really kind of kicking it off for me.
Amazing. Let's give it up for Kim. So after Kim infused you with that knowledge and head start, because we don't always get a head start. You know, we typically start at a different starting line. There's a great YouTube video about that where this coach lines up about 50 people, and he starts asking these people questions. And like simple questions like, if you were raised by two parents, take one step forward. If someone in your family graduated from college, take another step forward. Like 5 or 6 questions in a row. All of the black people were still at the same point. Everyone that was black was still at the same starting line, but everyone else had a massive head start. And it's a really powerful video, so if you get a chance, look it up on YouTube. So Kim gave you that head start. What did you do with that head start? She passed you the baton.
Yeah, so my sister, who's sitting next to me on the other side, so Ashley was actually at CCS when I started. First of all, we all went to the same high school, for one.
That's crazy.
So in South Florida, design architecture, senior high, we all went to the same high school.
On time for Dash.
Yep.
Exactly. And so I was probably in my junior year when you started, at CCS?
We're in your
or
senior year.
Okay, senior year.
Yeah.
But I knew you from high school.
Yep.
So I knew that you were coming in, and you also had an interest in footwear design, and it was like, here you go. This is what you need to do. This is who you need to talk to. All of those things.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was my sophomore year. I was in Miss K's class, right? And Miss K had put up like a
Wait, y'all had the same
poster.
teachers too? They were
Same
all there
teachers,
too?
right?
Well,
Wow.
our product design teacher was at the school for 20 years, so we
Oh,
all had,
wow, okay.
even Eliyah had
Wow.
the same teacher. So.
Wow.
Shout out to Miss K.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember sophomore year, Miss K had put up like a little poster of you with your shoe from the shoe you did at your internship at Nike. And so, every day I'd walk in, I'd see this image of Cheresse and the shoe, and it was just a beautiful example of, what could be done. Like the possibility is right there, and that just represents the power of representation.
Wow. Yeah.
And just in the moment, I guess I didn't fully realize what that was for me.
Right.
In hindsight, just the power of seeing that and knowing that you can do that has just like stayed with me, and it goes a long way,
Yeah.
But yeah, I went through high school, and knowing Cheresse had done the unthinkable, I set my sights on doing that too. I was like, she can do it, I can do it too. And so when I got to CCS, I remember Cheresse would always extend herself to me and say, hey, when you have time, let's check out your portfolio. I'll show you all the work I've done. And she just gave me all the tips. She opened herself to me, and I knew I had someone to go to.
Yeah.
And you don't know this, but every time I met up with you,
So, come on, y'all. I can't be doing that up here. Come on. No, yes, do it. Let it all out. Let it all out.
I came prepared.
Okay.
I was so nervous to talk to you. And you just don't know how much it meant to me. And so I felt like I had someone in my corner. I had someone rooting me on and cheering me on. And, Cheresse would always tell me, you have to pay it forward,
Mm-hmm.
And I've kept that with me. And today I've gone on to achieve really great things, and I stand on her shoulders. I stand on Kim's shoulders, She's introduced me to my big brothers in the audience, Dwayne, Scott, Jeff, Jason, Ron, Wilson. Those are my big brothers, and they're my family. And I just owe so much to this community. And I want to give them all their flowers because, Terrence was talking about earlier, for the culture, all of this is for the culture. And if you don't pay it forward and you don't pass that on, it's all in vain. It doesn't go anywhere. You're not doing anything. You're not moving anything forward. And as you achieve in this industry, you have to make sure you're continuing a legacy.
Sure.
And that's how you build it, and that's how you move all of us forward. And you have to take on that responsibility. That comes with it. And what you're working for, that's your duty. So it's important.
Yep. So, thank you. No, that's good.
Super emotional.
We might need to get some tissue up here because it ain't going to be the last moment. So I remember, Ashley, you reached out to me. Ashley, you reached out to me. I was taking my sabbatical from Nike or Jordan, and I said, hey, I got this footwear design academy thing I want to try. And you said, hey, there's this girl from Miami named Precious. Can you look out for her? How'd that come about?
So, yeah, I remember, Dwayne, you were setting everything up with pencil and, Precious, you were 2 years? Yeah, I'm 2 years behind you. 2 years behind me. Dash, again, like we're going through the pipeline. We're creating like a whole formula here of greatness. And yeah, just let you know, and know Cheresse also did too. And just like, we have another one for you. We're ready. So yeah, I'll let you, Precious, tell it.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Nah, come on. Hey, what's up? What's up? So, wow, this is crazy. When I first met Cheresse, I was little, like I was a little kid. And Cheresse came in, she had this amazing portfolio that she had just finished with Nike. And I remember sitting amongst all of these other dudes, being the only chick in my industrial design class, and like, wait, like you designed this? Like a chick designed shoes? Like, wait, what? Like I can do this? This is crazy. Now, when I met Ashley, man, she was this pillar that used to just walk through the hallways, right? Like, everyone drew in black pencil. Ashley drew in blue pencil. And it was, like, innovative because nobody else was doing it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to draw in blue pencil. Cheresse, you know, she out here. She at Nike. Like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. So I remember sitting at CCS. I got the email from Ashley, like, yo, Dwayne is at Nike and he's opening up this class, this academy called Penso. Do you want to go? And I was like, okay. So then Dwayne hit me up. He was like, yo, send me a sketch. Went back to my room, did this really quick sketch, and I sent it off. And he was like, okay, cool, you in. So I was like,
You were in the very first class, right?
I was in the very first class.
She was in the very first class downtown at the U of O.
I'm sorry?
Precious was in the
Yeah,
very first
very
class.
first class.
First class.
Very first class.
2010.
Yeah, 2010.
Yeah, 2010. I remember coming. I was like, wait, we going to Oregon. Where is Oregon? So
Yeah.
I was confused by that. I remember getting there, and everybody had Dwayne had everybody's brief already. And I didn't have mine, so I was like, okay. Like, a day went by, and Dwayne was like, all right, And then he was like, you gonna design a shoe for Victoria's Secret. And I was like, wait, what? Victoria's Secret? He was like, yeah, you gonna design a shoe for Victoria's Secret. Completely threw me off my, I mean, I was Nikes all day, sneakers. Like, you want me to off bra straps? Victoria's Secret, wait, what? I was confused. But what that did, that pushed me to like a new limit. And then I ended up at Nike, you know, with my peeps.
All at the same time.
All at the same
All at
time.
the same time. That was wild.
Yep. Give it up, Precious. So then, you know, you all three of you ladies were there. Were all four of you there at one time with Kim?
We were not
just
there
missed
at
it
the
by
same
like
time.
a little bit, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And I just left, and
Exactly.
then I joined it.
And then you go back to Miami and start teaching at your old high school, and then this person shows up.
Yeah. So I left Nike in 2016, thought I was over with the industry. I'm going to go back and teach, and I figured I could be more impactful on the front end, actually teaching to help guide everyone into the industry, because I feel like I couldn't do it while I was inside for some reason. And I went back to South Florida, taught for 1 year, because I figured out public school also was not the answer. We needed something different, and met Eliyah that 1 year. And I felt like God really put me in that place for a year, just so I could connect with her, so that we could get Eliyah into the industry. And I remember telling you, I'm like, if you want to do this, we can make it happen. And here we are.
Yes.
I love that energy. That was fire. Yeah, but I'm Eliyah. Similar to what Cheresse said, first of all, we all had Miss K as a teacher. I personally feel like Miss K was very intimidating. She used to rip our papers off the wall and tell us to start over.
Okay.
But dictionary thrown at you?
Run for your money, Dwayne, low key.
She
Really?
didn't throw no dictionary
All
at you? Did you have a dictionary thrown at you?
I didn't have a dictionary thrown at me, but she definitely ripped up my papers and my concept. Yeah.
But Cheresse here, she had like a humble spirit, and she had like a different approach to teaching. I remember when she came into the class and Miss K was like, you know, exiting, she came with a bag full of shoes. And so I'm just like, she created all these? Like, what is this? And she said, like, yeah, I worked on these. And I'm like, that's like the coolest thing ever. And so I was like instantly inspired, and like Ashley said, like Cheresse had her image. They had Cheresse's picture. So I knew she was something serious. Like,
It's probably still up there.
For change.
I get
It's
my
so
picture.
sad. It's up forever.
I get my picture on the wall. But yeah, I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. I never knew that I can really pursue footwear design until Cheresse came. I personally feel like Cheresse was like my representation of what I could do, even when I didn't know it at the time. And so when Cheresse took the time and taught us footwear design and like how to present ourselves, how to stand in front of people and show our work confidently, like I was super inspired by that. And I remember I tell everybody, Cheresse literally made our entire class enter a sneaker design competition for pencil. And so like that's where I'm like, all right, cool, I guess I got to get an A, to pass this class. So I didn't think much into it. So I was just like, all right, cool, let me do a sneaker. It'll probably be trash because I was like very beginner stage. But then when I went back to show Cheresse the sneaker, I remember she was like, you did this? And so I'm like, well, it gotta look nice because you look shocked. So, but I'm like, yeah, I did this. So I thought it was cool. And so when I entered the sneaker competition, like I think a few weeks later, I got like top 12. And I was like, all right, cool.
Nationally.
Nationally,
Not,
yes.
not in the class,
Yeah.
across the entire nation.
Yeah. But yeah, after I got top 12, I was like, all right, cool, that'll probably be like
It was
the ending
technically
point.
top 2 because it
Yeah.
was 4 different categories.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that till right now. But yeah, then I got word that I got top 3, so I'm like, cool. And I'm gonna be honest, when I did get top 3, also a guy in our class, William, he was like super great. He still is at footwear design and had like prior experience before me. So I was like, all right, I'm going against William. Like this guy is like so talented. Like I probably got no chance. And so when they flew us out to Portland, I was like so nervous. I hardly had even light presentations already. So to stand before like people who've been in the industry for a long time, I remember Ashley seeing you there. Precious, you was probably there, but but it was a lot of like industry people there and people of color. And so just me, my little self being in front of the whole crowd and presenting my work. But that was a special moment for me because like me winning the competition, I tell people all the
Yes.
time, but like
Wait, you gotta pause.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. But yeah, so me winning the competition like was the moment that like I realized like I can do footwear design for like however long I want to. And so like that's when I started to pursue it like long term, every day, going back to Miami, drawing, sketching, reaching out to people I don't know to be like, hey, like, can you give me feedback? Can you show me how to get better? And so like from that day on, I really took footwear design seriously, and I knew it was something that I wanted to do for like not the rest of my life, but for a good
Right now.
chunk of it. you know what I'm
you
saying?
good.
So
You never know. It's hard to get out the footwear industry. It's like the mafia. It's hard to get out. It just keep pulling you back in. It's hard.
But laden with opportunity. So
Absolutely.
there you go.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
So
that's-
I want to reflect. Thank you for sharing that story, and I do want to open it up for questions in about 2 minutes. I want to reflect on 2 things. One, for all of you in the audience, have you peeped out the titles? So CEO, President, Kim, Director, VP, Founder. See what you got to live up to, Eliyah? You got a roadmap, though. You got a roadmap.
Got it. She
No
got
pressure.
it.
You got a roadmap. You got a roadmap. Before the audience is going to ask questions, what advice would you give yourself, right, when you were starting out? I know each of you had assistants, but in addition to the assistance piece, if you were starting out back at Eliyah's point, right, all the way as a freshman in high school, because as you know, you have to start there. Like, you have to start that conversation in order for it to become real. And what would you give your freshman high school self advice?
Yeah, I would have told myself to dream way bigger than I had been dreaming at the time. And I want to shout out Jessica Smith and Liz Conley back there for founding S.E.E.D, which is School for Experiential Education and Design. We're focused on creating pathways into the footwear industry for women and for Black women and women of color. And all our students are here in the front row.
Like Eliyah.
So, like Eliyah.
Right.
So,
And the front row, ladies.
front row, yeah. I would have told myself to dream much bigger than I had been dreaming, because what we're doing now and the work we're doing with S.E.E.D actually was a pathway for Eliyah to get into the industry because of all of the obstacles that we face just gaining access and education. The work we're doing right now created a pathway for her so that she's sitting here with us. So we couldn't have done it without you two also dreaming big. So.
And this is, I'm shocked because I'm not used to her completing a sentence.
Oh.
Because she would just like say a couple words and disappear. But she got paragraphs now. Like, I'm so proud of you.
Totally
Cheresse's
different
fault.
person.
Cheresse pushed me every day in high school. So,
All right. Freshman year, Ashley.
Yeah, freshman year. I would say to my younger self, all those moments of doubt, push through those. Those imposter moments.
Yeah.
It's not syndrome, it's just moments.
Thank you for saying that.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
They come and they go. Terrence mentioned Martin.
Yes.
I like to think of imposter moments like Bruh Man from the Fifth Floor.
Yes.
He just pops in randomly, and
Yep.
you acknowledge him and you send him out.
Yep.
And
Get something to eat.
that's
bounce,
it.
right?
And so it's Bruh Man. That's it. Push through the hard, doubtful moments.
Yep.
Mines would be similar. Fail fast.
Yeah.
Because time is precious, low key. No pun intended. But also, if the door closes, it's a window. You can get in there some way. Like, it's a back door, a window, a roof that you could go through, sliding glass door.
Right.
Don't limit yourself to what people put on you, because you can sit there and be like, okay, this person said that I couldn't do A, B, C, and D. Somebody told Kobe he couldn't be a basketball player. Somebody told MJ the same thing, and look at him. Like,
Yep.
so don't short yourself.
yeah, so I would tell not only myself, because, like, I'm still super young, but I
It was
also
like
see a
wasn't
lot
that long
of...
ago. But
I also see a lot of young, similar age people in the audience, but I would say, like, whatever you think the traditional or whatever the normal route is to success, like, erase that from your head. And I think what you can see on the stage here is, like, us as individuals who've made it, and we're all successful, by the way, but who've made it at different points in our careers. Like me, I got in the industry around, 20 years old. And so, like, now for us, I think what's important is to find the next person to sit here maybe the next year who's 17 years old. And it just gets younger and it gets younger because, like, we're building a community of Black women, of women of color at such a fast pace. And so I think, like, I didn't think I was gonna be here today, like, so many years ago. Like, I didn't even think I was gonna be in the industry. But, like, things happen for a reason, and, like, you just gotta trust the process, to be honest.
Wow. Thank you.
I want to add to that too, because I recently had the pleasure of bringing in 2 interns from the Allbirds pencil partnership from last year. One of which looks like us.
Yep, she
and,
sure does.
It was a special moment for me to be in a position to
Right.
do that.
Yep.
And,
skills too.
And she's fire. She's
Yes.
flame. Shayna Charles, keep a lookout.
Yes.
And I had a moment with her, before she ended her internship to sit her down and break it down for her and offer her all the, tips and the words of wisdom as she goes into the industry and, go into a room and sit at the table. You told me that. Intern or no intern, sit at the table, advocate for yourself. Know that you're going into that room and 9 times, probably 10 times out of 10, you're the only person in there who has a perspective that you have, and own that and work with that and find power in that. So I'm feeling grateful to be up here with all these amazing women, with
Powerful.
you, and to share this story because I think it's really, really special.
Yeah, thank you. All right, we have time for 2 New York questions and 6 normal questions. Thank you,
Hi.
Trayvon.
You hear me? Okay, good. As a CCS student in footwear especially, what do you recommend that I do to get my foot in footwear? No pun intended.
Network.
Okay.
Nah, I'm just playing.
But no, that's true though. But yes.
Yeah, that too. That
Yeah.
too. You want me to answer it? You want to keep going?
That's crazy. Like, how many of you at CCS right now? No. You, like, black
Oh.
female.
It's probably less than 3, 5.
Okay.
Being black in footwear especially, yeah.
Yeah, that's power there.
So connect
Own
with
that.
us, please. All
Okay.
of us and everyone else in this room, and then identify what makes you unique, right? So I would highly suggest to not consume footwear as your only source of inspiration. I will
Right.
also just start to work on identifying what makes you unique and then lead with that.
Okay.
And, if you're in this city, try to soak it up. I feel like when I was here, I didn't do enough to extend myself in the community and to also help to advance, what's happening around. So identify, again, what's important to you and then what makes you unique to bring that into the industry. You don't want to be like everyone else.
Right.
I know that that's often pushed. So look for your own uniqueness and lead with that.
All right, thank you.
We want to give preferential treatment to black women. I'm going to make that call right now. Sorry, bro, man. And I saw one here too.
Can you talk a little bit about your intersectional identity? We only have one black female, vice president in St. Louis who does design, and
You do?
often for Caleres.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Angelique Joseph, she's amazing, but don't recruit her because we need her.
Okay.
I hesitated to say her name, but she's amazing.
All right.
But can you talk a little bit about doing this work with both identities as black and female and what that's like for you?
Yes, for me, that's a great question. So I'm a black female. I'm also Latina, and this.
And vice president.
Thank you. And it's definitely an interesting experience being in a position of leadership. Being at the proverbial table now, and having to hold space in my identity and be comfortable with that in what I've traditionally, historically just seen a particular archetype and mold. And so while I'm still navigating that, I'm just gonna be honest, still navigating that, very much find power in knowing that I'm trailblazing in some ways and can find comfort in my authenticity and hopefully inspire, the leaders of tomorrow to want to be in those positions too and be themselves and not feel like they have to conform to what they've traditionally seen as leaders, in the industry. So, it's just about. I went to a Bad Bunny concert like two days ago, and sharing that with my team and just sort of sharing what's special to me and my culture and just how I bring that to work. So, I hope that answers your question.
So last question.
Thank you. I appreciate all the questions, and I'd like to ask this of all four of you, if I may. Part of your identity as a Black woman and transgender woman, how that affects, especially your story and your identity. For myself, I identify first as a Black deaf woman in the sneaker industry. And it's very difficult for me to communicate with others to get access to the communication and what's going on around me. Often I might hand something, they don't know what to do with me because I'm deaf. So I would try to use a phone to communicate by having them text what they're saying or speech to text. But it's really hard for me to understand what's going on in the speaker industry. So I have to bring my device with me, and it's just, I can't hear all the give and take that's going on around me, and I feel often very left out and a little ignored. So for what you had mentioned earlier, when the door closes, it opens a window and you have other avenues, and I have one device sometimes, but I feel very limited in my access. Is there any other advice you can give me to help break through into the sneaker industry as a deaf Black woman? Because I appreciate that advice, and I use sign language primarily, and I'm just still trying to figure out how to venture into that and proceed with that. And I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up. It's hard right now, and there are very few deaf individuals in the industry, very few people I can network with. I feel very isolated. So, so you talk about being a trailblazer. I feel like I'm there and still don't have anyone else to look up to. And I do have other deaf individuals asking me for advice. And I'm not sure how to tell them to break through. I'm still trying to do that myself. So as a Black deaf woman, what do you think?
Are you from New York?
No, I'm not.
Just playing. That was powerful.
Oh,
Fluent from New York.
All right. So I'm in Brooklyn.
It sounded like a good idea. Got here this morning.
Yeah. So I am in Brooklyn. So there's an invitation and an open door. But I think first step, you're here in the room.
Yes.
Brooklyn. Wow. Okay. Cool.
Being here in the room is powerful. Now we can all connect and build community. I think that's the first step. Would love to connect with the other members of your community so that we can all form a community and share it together. And the other piece of it is, I think we're, as designers and creatives, there's so many other ways that we can communicate outside of verbal communication. So leaning into the design piece, leaning into images. Images are so powerful. It's another way for us to be able to communicate, leaning into those things as well, to also share. But just continue to build community and working together, I think, historically isn't something that we've done really well as a community, but I think being here today is the first step to all come together and work together.
Thank you.
Yes, just really quick, I'm really inspired right now
Yes.
by you. And, you're blazing a trail
Aw.
right now. And you automatically have 4 in your corner here in the industry. And, to Sheresse's point, all the work that you're pouring into, all the work that you're creating, the visual work, is that should do the talking, right? And so definitely lean into the craft. And, it's about spreading awareness and understanding the differences between us. And hopefully as we continue to proliferate that conversation, we can, make strides forward. But for sure, definitely lean into the work and the craft and sort of mastering that for yourself. And that the work will do the talking for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
It's real heavy up
That
here.
was heavy. You wanna end that?
I would just say be icy, be cold, because it don't matter. If you good out here, people gonna see you, and people will open doors and make sure that you're seen. Your work just like Ash said, is gonna speak for itself. And by it speaking for itself, that sliding glass door gonna open. The chimney, ain't gonna have no smoke coming out of it. You can just, like Santa Claus. Be icy out here. Be cold.
Okay. You want to close or you good?
I second all of that.
Wise, right? Wise. She picked it up. Give these ladies a hand, please.